out there today, boys and girls in sporting land. This is JPC with J&J Outlaw Sports. And this is the home of the Common Joe and the Common Sully, and know even more so than all those media talking heads. And that's why I got to bring it to you. When I feel something, when I feel the heat or I see the heat out there, interesting topics, I got to bring it to the forefront for all you guys and gals out there. And today, class, this one is probably a pretty good one. You got Kevin Warren, who last year basically tried to strong arm the entire college football world when he tried to shut down the football season. Rumor has it that he's being squeezed out of the meetings with the Big Ten presidents and athletic directors in the talks for alliances and expansion. And to me, I think that's a job that would entail a certain position being there. What position would that be? Oh, yeah, the conference commissioner. You think he would be there to commission the advancement of his conference going forward and maybe being innovative and expanding and not letting the SEC get ahead of them in any aspect. So if he's not there, then what's that tell you? Is he like a Queen of England, or is he like de facto being low-key forced out? I think so. And then you have the ACC with the grant of rights. All these people that have agendas, they want the ACC to stay together. Oh, the grant of rights is such an ironclad thing. Can't none of them go join another conference, especially West Virginia fans. They want the ACC to stay together because they see that as their out. Their Willy Wonka golden ticket the hell out of Big 12 country. But I'm sorry to tell the West Virginia fans that you might join the ACC, but it might be because the ACC has done lost about 4 to 6 teams to the Big Ten or even the SEC. Because what's going to happen is, like I said before, these two leagues are going to have 2 super leagues, and then it's going to just be everybody else on a second-tier level, in my opinion, is what's going to end up happening about 2 or 3 years down the road, maybe even sooner. But before I get to all this, while Kevin Warren's a jackass, which I've already told you that, I'd like to ask you guys and gals to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Subscriptions are most important, and I always love saying that word. It makes me feel so good inside. That's right. Just hit that bell, hit that subscribe button, and it just lets you know when I'm up and on the air. Now, getting right to it, once again, I think Kevin Warren's being forced out because he stepped on Ohio State's toes last year, and even more, to a lesser degree, probably Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Nebraska, and Penn State. Those 5 to 6 teams weren't too happy with the fact that Kevin Warren didn't really take into account any of their voices, any of their opinions, and decided, hey, you know what, we're just going to have conference games only. And then after that, no football at all. And by God, everybody else is going to come to agreement on that too, because they come to agreement on conference games only. So now they'll do this too. No, Kevin, what you failed to realize is yes, you controlled whether the Big Ten played non-conference games, but you did not control whether the SEC decided to continue on with the conference only and the Big 12 carried on with the conference only games. And they did. And all the players in the Big Ten and all the parents and alumni in the Big Ten, the Pac-12, who always follows the Big Ten like a little bitch, they all saw this and they're like, damn, they're playing football. Why can't our kids play football? How come they're not out there playing football and helping their careers in college football and their aspirations and chances of getting in the NFL? Why aren't they getting the opportunity this year? Why is the SEC and the Big 12 getting all this? And basically, Kevin Warren had to undouble down and back up and let everybody play. Oh, we're going to let them play because of this and this and this. No, Kevin, you got punked out. You thought you had more stroke than you really had, and you read your press clippings and whatnot from the liberal media probably, and you got what you got. And then y'all end up coming back. Pac-12 only plays 3 or 4 games probably per team, maybe 6. In the Big Ten, maybe 7 or 8. And basically you end up looking like a jackass. And now fast forward to this year, they're like, oh, hell no. We're not going to let Kevin mess this up again. We're going to take this over and we're going to do it ourselves. That comes down to this ACC grant of rights thing that a lot of teams are holding on to with dear life. And I tried to tell a friend of mine, Chris Petrie, who's a host for Gold and Blue Dude. He's a big-time West Virginia fan, and I hate to tell him this, but West Virginia might get in the ACC, but it might not be the ACC they're thinking of. These two conferences, in my opinion, are going up to 20, maybe 24 teams, having 2 super leagues, and then all the rest of the teams will just have to fend for themselves and figure it out. I hate it. I don't want it to come to that. I really don't. I wish we had the days of when the SEC and the Southwest Conference even were around, and it seems like this thing's going more and more to a NFL-esque type league. And I don't really want that. But if you're going to do it, you better get ahead of the ball. And that's what the Big Ten is trying to do. And the grant of rights thing, from what I heard, North Carolina and Virginia have really been looking into it, and they think they've found a couple of loopholes to get themselves out of that because they don't think it's enforceable, that it's vague. The contract's overly vague, and there's so many loopholes and legalities concerning the grant of rights that North Carolina and Virginia think they can get out of it. And obviously, the Big Ten has been talking to those 2 schools because they both not only are good in a lot of sports, but they are also AAU, which the Big Ten really loves the AAU thing. Whatever. And they're also very academically respected as well. So the Big Ten can have the best of both worlds on them too. Everybody's been talking about Kansas and Iowa State and the Pac-12 merging up with the Big Ten. And this whole time, the Big Ten and North Carolina and Virginia been doing their own little deal on the side, it seems. So, and there's also the mention of Georgia Tech. People's like, well, Georgia Tech ain't that great. They're like Rutgers or some shit. But no, they're not like Rutgers. They've actually won a national championship in football back in the 90s. They were pretty damn good back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s to a degree. So they're a lot better than Rutgers. And Georgia Tech's in probably the fastest growing city in America, in Atlanta, and one of the fastest growing states population-wise in Georgia. So it would be a great move by the Big Ten, and Georgia Tech is AAU. So North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia Tech, they would just need one more school out there that's AAU. And that would maybe come into play where they could actually go get Kansas. The reason why I say Kansas is because they have a historically great basketball program, and you just can't ignore that. They're a blue blood in basketball. So that's what I'm hearing. You guys and gals, tell me what you're hearing. Seems like the whole grant of rights thing in the ACC may be up for grabs. And if that happens, if North Carolina, Virginia, and Georgia Tech all go the Big Ten, along with Kansas, what do you think is going to happen to the rest of the ACC? What do you think? You know what I think? I think Clemson and Florida State and Miami and possibly NC State are going to join the SEC. Maybe Virginia Tech and NC State's a little interchangeable there. But I think it's going to, both conferences are going to go to 20 and have 2 super leagues. That's what I think. You guys and gals, tell me what you think. Drop it in the comment section. Like, share, comment, subscribe to this channel. And KMCA to all the other teams.